Christmas in America hasn't been about peace or joy for a long time. It's become a high-stakes performance that many men are quietly deciding they no longer want to audition for. While the world is covered in lights and music, there is a silent tension building in households across the country, a tension that comes from a simple, uncomfortable reality. The modern holiday season has become a stress test that most relationships aren't built to survive. Men aren't becoming Grinches, and they aren't trying to ruin the holiday spirit. They are simply exhausted by a system that expects them to provide a 1950s fairy tale on a 2025 reality. To understand why this is happening, we have to look at the invisible contract that is handed to every man the moment the calendar turns to December. For the modern American man, December isn't a month of rest. It's a month of a lifestyle audit. We live in a culture where a man's value during the holidays is often reduced to his ability to fund a curated, social media-worthy experience. Men feel the crushing weight of the expectation gap, the divide between what they can actually afford in an economy of rising costs and what they are expected to produce to keep their partner happy. When the gifts, the dinner, and the magic don't meet the filtered standards of what people see on their screens, the respect in the relationship starts to leak out. A man knows when he is being judged by his bank account rather than his character, and the holidays have a way of making that judgment feel louder than ever. This isn't just about the money. It's about the emotional toll of knowing that your worth is tied to a price tag. Many men are stepping back from the holiday rush because they've realized that the return on investment for their effort is often a negative one. They spend weeks working overtime and thousands of dollars trying to buy peace, only to receive criticism, emotional distance, or the feeling that they are just a walking wallet. Men want to be appreciated for the sacrifice they make to keep the ship afloat, but instead, they often feel like background characters in someone else's holiday movie. This creates a deep-seated resentment that builds throughout the month of December. It starts with the pressure to attend events they are too tired for, to buy gifts that will be compared to a friend's husband's gift, and to provide an emotional stability that they aren't even receiving themselves. This is why we see Divorce Day every January. It isn't a coincidence. It's the moment the performance ends, the credit card bills arrive, and the reality of a lopsided partnership finally becomes too heavy to carry. When the debt settles in January, the arguments begin. And for many, that is the final straw. There is also the quiet fear of the family filter. The holidays force a level of commitment and performance that many modern relationships simply cannot sustain. Men are realizing that the pressure to play the role of the perfect partner for a woman who might not even respect his needs is a trap. They are watching other men lose themselves in the holiday grind, becoming more stressed and more isolated, and they are choosing a different path. They are choosing solitude over stress. They aren't running away from the holiday. They are running toward a version of peace that doesn't require them to go into debt or emotional bankruptcy. In a world where men are constantly told they aren't doing enough, the holidays feel like the ultimate final exam one, where the grading is subjective and the failure is public. For a lot of men, the holiday season is a reminder of their disposability. If they can't provide the high-end vacation or the designer bag, they feel the shift in their partner's energy. They feel the withdrawal of affection. They see the disappointment in her eyes when she scrolls past another woman's better Christmas on Instagram. This digital comparison is a poison that is killing the American family unit. We are living in a time where the average man is being compared to the top 1% of men who have the resources to create a cinematic holiday. When a woman spends her day looking at the best 1% of the world, her real-life partner starts to look like a failure, even if he is working his fingers to the bone. This constant state of comparison makes it impossible for a man to feel safe or enough. He starts to see marriage and long-term commitment as a no-win scenario. If he gives everything and it's still not enough, why play the game at all? This is the core of the Mendecoding philosophy. It's not that men have stopped loving, it's that they have stopped seeing the value in a contract that rewards their sacrifice with a demand for more. We also have to talk about the emotional labor myth. We are told that women do the work of the holidays because they organize the cards and the dinners, but we rarely discuss the financial and psychological labor of the men who are expected to protect the peace and provide the resources. A man who is stressed about how he will pay for January rent because he spent December trying to be a good provider is doing a form of labor that goes completely unacknowledged. When he tries to express this fear, he is often met with the emotional immaturity label. He is told he is ruining the vibe or being negative. So he shuts down. He performs. He smiles for the family photo, while his mind is calculating interest rates and debt-to-income ratios. This silent struggle is the reason men are checking out. They are realizing that the modern woman wants the traditional man's wallet, but doesn't want to provide the traditional woman's peace. The legal system only adds to this fear. A man entering a marriage in America knows that if the holiday stress leads to a January divorce, he is walking into a courtroom that often views him as a secondary citizen. He knows his house, his retirement, and his access to his children are on the line. The holidays act as a risk assessment period. Men look at the tension in their homes and think, is this worth the 50% chance that I lose half of everything I've ever worked for? For a growing number of American men, the answer is a resounding no. They would rather spend Christmas in a quiet apartment with a dog and a steak than in a $1 million home where they feel like an intruder in their own life. They are running toward emotional safety. Marriage and long-term relationships will survive the holidays when the holidays return to being about the person standing next to you rather than the price tag of the box under the tree. When a man feels safe enough to say, "I can't afford this," without fearing he will lose respect. When a woman values the man's presence more than his provision. Until that shift happens, December will continue to be a relationship killer. We have to stop shaming men for their financial boundaries and start appreciating the reality of what it takes to build a life in 2025. We have to stop treating the holiday as a test of love and start treating it as a time of rest. Men will return to the table when the table is a place of sanctuary, not a place of judgment. They will return to the tree when the tree isn't a monument to their debt. The true magic of Christmas isn't found in a store. It's found in the eyes of a partner who sees you, who respects your struggle, and who doesn't need a performance to stay. If you are a man watching this and you feel that weight on your chest, know that you are not alone. You are not a failure because you can't compete with an algorithm. You are a human being who deserves peace. And if your relationship can't survive a budget Christmas, it was never going to survive the storms of life. It's better to find out now, under the lights of the tree, than 10 years down the line in a lawyer's office. At the end of the day, a man's peace is his most valuable asset. If the holidays are asking you to trade your peace for a vibe, walk away. The men who are decoding the truth are the ones who will build the future, because they are the ones who refuse to be manipulated by a system that doesn't care about their well-being. We are moving toward a new era where partnership means mutual protection. Protect her, yes, but make sure she is protecting you too. If the support only flows one way, it isn't a relationship, it's a job. And the holiday season shouldn't be your second shift. This is Mendecoded, where we don't blame men, don't shame women, and don't sugarcoat truth. We decode it. Because men aren't afraid of building a life. They're afraid of losing one to a performance that was never meant for them. Stay strong, stay decoded, and prioritize your peace this season above all else.